Cavalier found himself a new star. Kaheem Dixon shows why he's a star, and Moby did all they could. But we start one place and one place only, and that's at Jerusalem, where it's party time for Waterhouse. This is Match Week 26 review show. Yeah, people, welcome back to Jamaica, and we at the final countdown. This is the final matches of the regular season, and every match was played at the same time, and we had nothing but drama. Especially the two marquee matches, the one that was at Catherine Hall and the one that was at Jerusalem. And that's where we start. We start right there at Waterhouse, who was hosting Harbour, who was already safe from relegation and could play spoilers. Waterhouse need a win here to guarantee themselves in the top 6, and if that wasn't enough pressure, they had to do it without two marquee players. Fletcher missed his second game in a row, but what's even hurting is that Ronaldo Mitchell was also missing from this lineup. So all eyes and pressure was probably going to be on Jamaican Bryan, who is the main man up top, of course. He's been misfiring a bit in the last 2 games, so the Waterhouse faithful will be hoping he comes good in this game. While Harbour, this will be Lolo Bernard's final game in charge, while he and his teams will probably hope they go out in a good celebrating mood. Well, the game started though with Waterhouse knowing that they have a job to do. They were a much better team and they were on the front foot from minute 1. They got numerous chances just like they did in the last couple of weeks and just couldn't finish them off. Chance after chance were being spurned, and Harbour was doing all they could to keep a tight knit at the back. Harbour was playing a bit physical and trying to frustrate their host, and even more, Jamaican Bryan seems to have 4 blue shirts always around him every time he touches the ball. It was a pretty frustrating first half for the hosts, because they were playing well, creating chances, but the ball was just not going in the back of the net. Into the second half now, Harbour, who had been rotating their keepers, saw Palmer walking goal, and he was having a decent game. He was putting out some fires in the box and was generally playing well. And when bad news came from Catherine Hall, it seemed the fans as well as the players were feeling the frustration. They were starting to rush their play a bit now, and those shots that were coming, they were trying to dry up. At this point, they were probably all thinking that this was not going to be their day, as Harbour was fulfilling their role as spoilers. But, funny enough, you take into Montego's Bay coach Dos Santos what he said last week, that he hopes his team is given a fair chance after criticizing the defending by Molynes in their game against Waterhouse. Harbour almost did something similar. A very bad combination of horrible play by the defender and Palmer in goal saw Jamaican Bryan get a chance to have a shot on goal, and thanks to a deflection, it went past the keeper into the net. Many people are crying foul already that this seems wrong, as Palmer didn't even seem to die for it, but Waterhouse and Jamaican Bryan would not care one bit, and they got the faithful much needed goal in the 60th minute for giving them a 1-0 lead. It even felt a bit of soul crushing for Harbour, who, despite not necessarily mustering much going the other way, was really fighting to seem to hold on to a draw here. Waterhouse, of course, seemed to settle down after that even more, and everybody's nerves seemed to be in check after that, and Waterhouse did just enough to see out the game and finally finishes off as a 1-0 victory. The 98 minutes sound off a big celebration. Waterhouse are back in the playoffs, and they have Jamaican Bryan, the main man today and most of the season, to thank for it. A good win and a good season for them, and they give them a chance, of course, to propel them to see if they can do any damage in the postseason. While Harbour, they did not manage to give London Bernard a good send-off, but they did show some spirit in this game, just like they did in the last 2 matches they have played, but the quality is severely lacking. No idea what's going on in defense leading towards the goal, but they have all off-season to think about it. So again, a good and a happy Waterhouse finishes 1, Harbour finishes 0. So yeah, people, with that scoreline, of course you know that the people at Country Hall will be feeling blue. But to be honest, in the beginning, they were all feeling great. We'll move on to the second match now, as Montego was hosting Tivoli, and a must-win game for them, of course. The big news in the starting lineup for Moby is that their talisman and number 10 Vere is not in the lineup or in the squad at all, while Tivoli basically had their usual lineup ready. Tivoli, of course, needed a result here, of course, to hold on to that second spot over Cavalier, so this was never going to be an easy one for Moby, and the game basically started out with KJ. Both teams were hoping not to make no super mistakes at the back, while they're steadily trying to move the ball up the pitch. Tivoli was doing their usual thing to build up from the back, while Moby was picking some nice passes up from the front three. But no teams were giving up really much chances, but Moby was stepping up the tempo. And that tempo eventually broke the dam when Owen Garden got through and got away to finish off the play to give Mobay the lead in the 37th minute. Tivoli was probably a bit shell-shocked, but many could saw the goal coming as Mobay was definitely up in the tempo. That sent the crowd into raptures, and Mobay was feeling the vibe and were starting now ping around some more balls. And Tivoli hung on for dear life in the first half. 1-0 at halftime, but there was no stopping Mobay's momentum at this point, and they came out the second half flying. So much so that they draw a penalty in the 48th minute and upstate Josiah Trimingham to go and put Mobay up 2-0. Except he missed his shot and Tivoli could breathe a sigh of relief as they're only 1-0 down. You would think that would spur Tivoli on, and they were trying to once more build up their play from the back, but they coughed out possession midfield and saw a ball launch all the way to the left wing for Mobay, who were under full counter-attack, who saw a ball placed into the box and find a streaking Daniel Reid, who saw the ball a bit behind him, but he was had enough ingenuity to backheel the ball into the net. He got the fans off their feet and celebrating. It was a brilliant goal and it came at the right time, as many were probably feeling a bit blue after that missing that penalty. It was 2-0 this time, and Mobay probably feeling there's no way they can lose this now, especially when he got word at this time in the game at Jerusalem that it was still 0-0. Tivoli, for their credit, tried to up the tempo after this, knowing that their chances of finishing the top two were in danger after getting word from Anthony Spalding Complex with what Cavalier were doing, and they were finally starting to carve up more chances. But they weren't really mustering any on target, and Mobay were now in reserve mode at this point, and they want to preserve their 2-0 lead. And that backpedaling actually led to some nervy moments, as it led to a penalty for Tivoli, and you know who, Justin Dunn stood up to get his 16th of the season to bring back Tivoli one into it. It was a bit of a helter-skelter and nerves for Mobay at this point, and Tivoli was pushing for not just the equalizer but eventual winner, but it did not come to fruition, and Mobay saw out a big important win here at home in a 2-1 victory. Of course, they were waiting to see what happened at Jerusalem, and eventually the bad news came that Waterhouse managed to win, but nonetheless, it was an impressive win in the end, and it was very hard fought. While Tivoli also got the news of what happened with Cavalier and realized that they will be fighting in the playoffs. Anyway, let's look at the stats to see what happened exactly in this game. So yeah, a very cagey affair really. Mobay had 5 total shots compared to Tivoli 5 total shots. But the difference is that Mobay had 4 to those 5 on target, while Tivoli could not muster any on target apart from the penalty. 9 corners for Mobay compared to 8 for Tivoli, 1 yellow card apiece. Yeah, so the stats basically tell you that the teams were not that far apart from each other, but Mobay basically shaded it, and of course you can see the scoreline reflecting that. So once again, Montego Bay 2, Tivoli Guns 1. So with Tivoli losing, it was prime chance for Cavalier, the team that was equal on points with them in third place, to snatch away second spot. Cavalier basically had almost a full lineup apart from Ainsworth, while Molynes had Jason Wright listed in the starting lineup, which I found a surprise since he was nursing an ankle injury, and then when the game kicked off, he was not on the pitch. He was actually replaced by Livingston on the left hand wing when the game started. As for Cavalier, I stated in the preview that they were coming out hard for this game and I expect them to score multiple goals, but even I didn't expect them to score it within basically the first minute. As the game started, Molynes was already dropping back too deep in their own half, which led to King having all the time in the world to float a ball into the box, who found the chest of Jamaica Calvin in the box and then saw him bundle over from behind. It led to an early penalty, and Dwayne Busy Atkinson stood up and took it and finished off neatly and gave Cavalier an early 1-0 lead. That of course settled their nerves. Cavalier were no boss in the game and they were playing some good football, but the only issue I had is that they seemed to be rushing it a bit. Clearly they were eager to score many goals they can, and every time they get the ball they were launching it forward very quickly to hope to spring Calvin or Atkinson going forward. It did lead to a little bit space in behind, and Molynes did find their forward lineup of the day, which is Livingston and Jeremy Nelson streaking forward, but anytime they got forward, they didn't do much in the Cavalier box. Livingston especially were a bit wasteful in most of this game, and it led to Cavalier having more chances on the opposite end. Atkinson was a physical embodiment of rushing the play, as many chances he got was a bit too fast for his own liking and saw some chances spurred. Credit must given to Peter Harrison in Molynes' goal, of course, as he did came out 2 times off his line to smother out some chances for Cavalier on the opposite side. So a bit nervy going into the first half. Cavalier still 1-0, and of course they got word that Tivoli is losing, but they will want to kill off the game. So the second half came up, and credit to Molynes, they got us talking too clearly, and they started out the second half much better. There were no putting more effort in their tackles, winning more of the second balls, and not having more attacking players in the box when the ball got wide. It was a good step from Molynes, but their defense, which has been the issue all season long, reared its ugly head again. I have no idea what was going on in the box when Barrett got his chance after a good turn from Atkinson led to the ball landing to Barrett's feet, who got a good foot off and find the back of net. 2-0 at this point. Then Molynes, who seemed to decide to go home for get some pride back in the game, lead themselves scarce at the back, and because of bad play once more, they saw Cavalier's new star, Shaquille Stein, shrieking into the box, and after he could not finish it off, after some decent play with his teammate, found a way to simply kick the ball back past the line. 3-0. Stein wasn't finished. Once again, he was shrieking one-on-one with the goal, and this time he did no help and finished off neatly past Harrison into the goal to give Cavalier 4. While Molynes brought on more of the youth players, and again we're looking a bit better in attack, but what was going on in defense, I had no idea. It led to another poor giveaway that saw Stein finishing off his hat-trick, and then before the game was finished, Russell was able to complete a 6-0 as he got a good right foot shot to get it past Harrison once more. So basically a stroll in the park for Cavalier, a big one of course, because it now propelled them into second, while Molynes showed what they have been an issue all year round, and their defense absolutely needs some work. Anyway, let's give you a view of the stats for this one. Cavalier had 8 total shots compared to Molynes 5. Cavalier had 5 shots on target compared to Molynes 1. 15 corners for Cavalier compared to 2 for Molynes, and 2 yellow cards. Yeah, so nothing much more to write about. Cavalier were completely dominant. They just had to be a bit more composed in front of the goal, and in the second half they finally showed that. Shaquille Stein might be the new surprise weapon. He would have speed off his sleeve come playoff time. The young man from Suriname is proven to have the golden touch in front of goal. He has scored 5 to 6 in 3 games. So absolutely look out for him in playoff time. Anyway, the game finishes Cavalier 6, Molynes 0. So up to the other matches that really didn't have much implications on the table, except Mount Pleasant was trying to crown off the regular season with a victory. They could not really be caught, but it would be nice to put the cherry on top to crown them regular season champions, and standing opposed to them is their St. Anne and Draxall neighbours, Lime Hall. So it was the final staging of the Draxall derby, and for this one in the lineup, as expected, Tapa Whitmore made some changes to rest some players, but he still have Kimoni Bailey up front along with Demaro Phillips, Chung, Bradford Green and Natalia James. So very attacking going forward. While Lima was just simply here for the ride and hope to go out strongly. How this one went? Well, very early, Acosta Chung was playing through the left channel and got the ball on his left foot and rifled a shot past Lima keeper to give a very early lead for the defending champions. 1-0, easy peasy. From there, they basically absolutely controlled proceedings. They dominated possession, and from last stretch of the game, Lima wasn't there. The only thing was missing was a second goal, and while they spurned some chances, it was clear that Mount Pleasant was taking it easy. The second half came and went, and we're still 1-0, and by the time Bygrave stepped up, in no time Phillips saw the ball on the right wing and was in acres of space, was able to lob the ball into the box to find an uncontested Bygrave to knock the ball home past the keeper. Easy as you like, 2-0 for Mount Pleasant. Limeall though did give their fans something to cheer for, and it came from Anderson, who gave Limeall a goal back in the 88th minute. But it was too little too late for muster anything or even a point out of this game, and Mount Pleasant cruised to an easy 2-1 victory and officially crowned them regular season champions. They now get to sit pretty up top and get a bye week as they await the playoff dogfight in quarterfinals. While Limeall saw a disappointed season come to an end with at least a goal, but they were absolutely horrible this season, and they have a lot to do in tier 2 if they want to come back straight up. Anyway, let's take a look at the stats for this one. Mount Pleasant had 30 total shots against Limehall's 5. If my memory serves me right, this is the 3rd time Limehall have given the opposing team 30 shots against them. Mount Pleasant also had 14 shots on target compared to Limehall 3, 12 corners all went to More Pleasant in the game, and no yellow cards in the game at all, no red cards. Yeah, pretty much not much to say. Limeall, apart from the goal in 88 minutes, didn't turn up, while More Pleasant was basically having training. And even better, I saw a lot of the fringe players, especially attackers, got some goals that can give them some confidence into the playoff time. Anyway, again, it finishes More Pleasant 2, Limeall 1. So what about Arnett Guns? They, of course, have no chance of finishing past fourth. They went all the way to the other relegated New Boys, Treasure Beach, who want to say goodbye to the league and their fans in good faith. They were at home, of course, at Stets, where in the previous part of the season they were playing decent there, but lately have coughed up too much goals at home. While Arnett don't normally travel well, I prove again so this season, but they do have Kareem Dixon in tow, and in the lineup we saw they rest a lot of players. Xavier Gilbert was definitely experimenting once more, and once again he had Kareem Dixon playing as a number 9 and had him flanked by Arbine and Roger Granville. Shepard though was the one that captain. Big move for the young man who I thought had a good season so far. So how did the match turn out? Well, just like the other matches we have talked about so far, we had early domination with a stronger team, and it were by far the better team in the beginning, and when eventually some chance were spurned, Kareem Dixon eventually got one as he was in one-on-one and able to put the ball past the keeper to have it trick over the line. 1-0 for Arnett. Treasure Beach didn't necessarily wake up into the game just yet, and before they could think, by the 44th minute, Arnett got a penalty where Ambrose stood up and gave Arnett Guns a 2-0 lead. During the entire play, Parchment also saw a red card for Treasure Beach, and with that, Treasure Beach had an even bigger mountain to climb to get back into this one. But they did have a spirited moment, as in the second half, Stone got a chance and finished it in the 57th minute to cut one back for Treasure Beach, and they were trying to step up some tempo to salvage some pride. But that did expose him at the back, so Kareem Dixon got his second in the 74th minute and put Arnett back up 3-1. Before the big man himself, Fabian Reed, in the last play, got saw a ball come from the byline and he was able to tuck it over the line to give Arnett a 4-1 win. So yes, another easy win for a playoff contender, while Treasure Beach will see their season come to an end in a disappointing function. There were no match for Arnett on the day, and they have a lot more work to do once they return to Tier 2. Anyways, show you what the stats are saying for this one. Yeah, so Treasure Beach had 6 total shots compared to 10 from Arnett Guns. Treasure Beach did manage 2 on target and managed to score for one of those, while Arnett had 5 on target and scored from 4. 1 corner to Treasure Beach compared to 11 from Arnett, 1 yellow card apiece, and of course a 1 red card to Parchment for Treasure Beach. Yes, another game where there's not much to say. Arnett saw the experience having Dixon running through the number 9 position prove successful, but I still doubt that he will play there come playoff time. Expect Reed to return to the starting lineup in my eyes. But apart from that, some players were rested and they still got some attackers on the scoreboard, so a good day all round for Arnett and Xavier Gilbert. Again, the match finishes Treasure Beach 1, Arnett Guns 4. What about their opponents in the playoff match? That would be Portmore, who are waiting. They were at their final game at Fernita Park against Humble Lion. Humble Lion, of course, had a disappointing season where they saw 2 managerial changes and many mix-up in the playoff personnel, where they're just coming here to finish the season off as strong as they could. While Portmore decided to rest their main stars for the upcoming playoff match against Arnett. They were missing Walsh, they were missing Marshall, they were missing Rousseau, and they were missing a lot more than that. But they still had Stephen Young in defense, as well as a Martin Davis. And just like the previous match we were talking about, Portmore had it easy. They didn't have to get out of second gear really before Martin Davis got on the score sheet in the 40th minute to give Portmore a 1-0 lead. Humble Lion, as usual, does have some build-up play and was trying to get something cooking, but Portmore pragmatic style, regardless of who is on the pitch, just shut them out. Finished without much more play was necessary. Portmore ended the half 1-0, and in the second half, not much was good in the game. The game basically was petering out. Portmore, were more on the attack, and eventually got the finishing job done, where Raheem got his in the 85th minute. But this came after Lamar Walker picked up 2 yellow cards to give himself a red card for Humble Lion. So basically not much more to say. Portmore had it easy, as I stated, against 10 men and finished off with a 2-0 win. Let's talk about the stats quickly. Portmore had 10 total shots compared to Humble Lion 5. Portmore had 2 shots on target compared to Humble Lion 4. So Humble Lion was really putting up a fight in this one. 4 corners for Portmore compared to 0 for Humble Lion. 2 yellow cards, of course, are led to the same man, getting a red card for Molynes, 1 yellow card to Portmore. So yeah, Portmore warmed up for the playoffs with a victory, and as they've been strong on Furniture Park all season long, so no surprise there. And even better, they rest everybody that's going to come show up in the starting lineup in that first game against Arnett. While Molynes finish out the season as usual disappointing, but they are safe for relegation, of course. Another crack at it come next October. But again, it finishes Portmore 2, Molynes 0. I know we finish up with our final game of the round, a game that didn't have really much going for it in terms of points and standing. Dunbeholden were playing their final game at the Dunbeholden Sports Complex and they welcomed Vere. It was a fun game for the neutrals though, as earlier we saw two teams going at it, and Dunbeholden, who as usual when it's doing Nicholas Nelson, normally wonder how the goals are coming from. Well, it came from Roger Smith this time, who got things off in the 15th minute to give Dunbeholden the 1-0 lead. He doubled up that and was at the score for Dunbeholden in the 34th minute to get his brace, and from there it seemed that they were just cruising by. Before Vere can even try get a crack at the score sheet, Powell gave Dunbeholden a 3-0 lead after halftime in the 40th minute to give Dunbeholden give themselves 3-0, and from there they basically took their foot off the gas as they thought the game was over. But Calvin brought one back for Vere in the 53rd minute before Wall got one back in the 70th minute to have it at 3-2. He was coming down close. Vere was hoping to get a point out of this one at least, but there was still time for J. Smith to complete a hat-trick, and he got it to the 82nd minute to finish off Vere once and for all and give Dunbeholden one more win in front of their fans to go home with. He finished 4-2 and the St. Catherine fans were fully happy. Alright, let's show you the stats quickly. Dunbeholden had 12 total shots completed, 16 from Vere, so they definitely was trying their best in this one. Dunbeholden had 8 shots and target completed 7 from Vere. 1 work corners for Dunbeholden, 7 corners from Vere. 2 yellow cards to Vere, 1 yellow card to Dunbeholden. So Vere, usual problem towards the end of the season, came up again, played some decent build-up play, decent football, even got some shots on target, but for some reason, up to the lack some finishing. They did manage to score 2 here, but their defense let in 4, of course. While Dunbeholden were probably wondering where we were this Roger Smith all season, as he would have helped out immensely to Nicholas Nelson and co. Anyway, once again it finishes Dunbeholden 4, Vere 2. Yeah, so that just moves us on to the final points table of the regular season for the Jamaican Premier League 2023-2024 season. And as I stated, of course, earlier, Mount Pleasant are the regular season champions after 26 games. They had 18 wins, 5 draws, 3 losses, the goal difference of 22 to give them a 59 points tally. Congratulations to Mount Pleasant, and honestly, you guys deserve a trophy at least for you to celebrate. So they kick back and wait for the playoffs, of course. Cavalier joins them, of course. They squeeze by Tivoli up into second with 54 points. Tivoli slip all the way out of the top 2 disappointingly into third with 51 points. Portmore couldn't move. The remaining 4th with 49 points. Arnett are right there with them in 5th with 49 points. And Waterhouse, people, Firehouse, Nation, you made it into the playoff for the skin of your teeth, but it don't matter. You're there for the party as you are in 6th place with 43 points. Sad note for Mobe, who just missed out also on 43 points in 7th. Dunbeholden, who was there in 6th for a while, dropped all the way to 8th with 37 points. Vere didn't have nowhere to go. They were 9th with 27 points. Same for Molynes. They finished with 25 points. Molynes had a horrible season, but they had 23 points and finished above Harbour, who are in 12th, who had an even worse season, surprisingly, who managed to survive relegation on 22 points. But sadly, we must wave goodbye. Treasure Beach are now gone. They're finishing 13th spot with 13 points, and Molynes Academy is now gone as well. They finished dead last in 14th spot with 7 points. So yeah, people, what a great regular season, and what a great end to that regular season this week. Some great drama, lots of controversy. I'm quite sure people are going to argue about how few Molynes defending in the both matches. But it is what it is. We have our top 6. We have our players matchup. Let me at least tell you quickly what those are. Tivoli will face Waterhouse, and Portmore will face Arnett in the quarterfinals on April 22nd. So we will be there definitely. Can't wait. It is postseason time, baby. It will be good, and it's the greatest time to be a JPL fan, really. Anyway, until then though, If you're new here, please like, subscribe and share as it keep us going to the end of the season. And for NTS and the Jamaican Premier League, you're already at the right place, Jump Hill fan. You two, once more, big up on yourself.